Hey everybody, Austin here again with part 2 of my Panzer Dragoon Orta Let's Play for the original Xbox. In our last session, we basically went through stages 1 through 5. In this section, we're going to be going through stages 6 through 10, with 10 being the final boss. Hopefully we can beat the final boss in one go, but I guess we'll see. So, once again, for any of you guys tuning in that might not have watched the first part, first, you can click in the top right-hand portion of the screen on the annotation if you'd like to check out Part 1 first. 2, I'm going to be skipping through all the cutscenes just like in my first playthrough as well. So, I'm going to be splicing together the all the segments minus the load times as well to give you guys the fastest, quickest experience. Panzer Dragoon Orta is a relatively long game as far as rail shooters are concerned. It is definitely a lengthy experience. It takes you about 2.5 hours, maybe a little bit longer, to get through the game, even with skipping all the cutscenes and beating everything on your first try. So it's definitely a tricky game. Well, it's definitely a long game, all things considered. I don't know why I said tricky. It is a tricky game in certain parts, but it's also a pretty lengthy game. So I'd like these Let's Plays to be as short as they possibly can. So yeah, if you want to see all the load screens and cutscenes and story elements and stuff like that, you'll probably want to check out a different long play, an actual dedicated long play, for instance. And that should do the trick for you. So this part right here, this guy's gonna get stuck and you're gonna fly through. I'm just gonna use my bomb, because what happens a lot of times is that I end up taking damage when I go through that. So I'm gonna go ahead, I basically just got some free damage on the dude. Did not take any damage myself, because it's very easy to accidentally take damage on that part. And look at that, I just took damage multiple times. Holy crap, why is he being aggressive now? That's never happened to me before, where I got hit by multiple missiles of his. That's actually kind of odd. So that's the first part of that level. You basically start off with a boss fight. And I'm skipping through that. And if I remember correctly, this is the this is like the simulation stage. Or is that the next level? No, I'm pretty sure it's this level. And there are these guys right here. I still have no idea how to take down. Okay, apparently that worked. I always get hit by these guys. Okay, so defeating the red core is how you take them out. When I was streaming this game in the last couple of days, I had some major issues trying to take these guys out. Wow, got it at the last second. And that's a power-up right there. One more, and we'll have our strong form powered up even more. And this is one section of the game where you need to start using your boost to avoid actual physical traps. Like, you can actually slam into that wall, and I'm probably gonna get hit here. I really have no idea why my boost is not charging up fast. We had this problem on part 1, and I don't know if it's just something where, like, it boosts faster when you're attacking enemies or something like that, or maybe it depends on your health, or I have no idea. Oh man, it's kind of annoying sometimes in this game how like they make it look like you're looking down and then they sort of like flatten you out and then you can't see anything that's coming at you. Like right here, the top right portion of the screen is, you know, it's just a big radar. It tells you exactly what's coming at you. But in this section, which I've never actually been to this section, this is the first time I've gotten to this section because there's multiple pathways. And so even though the radar is basically telling you, like, hey, there's enemies, you're like, hey, I can't see them. It's, come on. So these are basically switches right here. You can either shoot them or just lock onto them. I recommend just locking onto them. Of course, enemies are coming up from behind us. Always good to just check that radar. Always keep on top of that radar. That way you can react to enemies as quickly as possible. So there's more coming from behind. So go ahead and take them out. Looks like those are enemies that take more than one laser shot. So in reality, those are good enemies to take out with the strong shot. Although right here, it's probably better to do your normal shots because of this is a little bit of dodging here. So I just used my bomb power up, or my super meter, and the reason for that was just to get some health back. I like to use my super meter as soon as possible if I can, if my health is running low. Because the sooner I use the super meter, the sooner... Oops, I probably could have avoided that by slowing down a little bit. The sooner I use my super meter, the sooner I can start building it back up to use it again. That's kind of how I look at things in this game. Wow, apparently if those guys let loose, you're screwed. I slowed down intentionally, hoping that the beams would go away, but that's not the case. You need to take those guys out right away. So that's not good. My health is getting pretty low already, and we're not even... Oh. Okay. Apparently we beat the stage. Never mind. So the boss is in the beginning. Yeah, that's a terrible rank. I don't think I've ever gotten a D rank. Alright, episode 7, Forbidden Memories. This is the one where you're going through lots of simulations. There's some throwbacks to the original Panzer Dragoon games in this level, which is pretty cool. And I think we get powered up quite a bit on this level, if I recall correctly. Alright, so this orb right here, you need to hit the, this outside sort of like weak point that's moving along. So you just kind of keep locking onto it. Try to avoid the laser, which can be kind of hard. I find it really hard to predict where that laser's going. So, yeah, like, I have the tendency of, just getting hit over and over again on this part. So really I like to just use the heavy shot, or heavy dragon. so I can take this thing out quickly. And get pretty much destroyed by its lasers. Nice, I got 2 power-ups with that one. So this area is kind of a bit of a throwback to the first game. You get these, sort of like worm-looking enemies that just fly above you. And it's not completely identical, but it's, you know, it's a bit of a throwback. You're in a somewhat desert-like environment, and I should have boosted there sooner. I messed that up. There's gonna be a gate coming up that the dude can jump through, and it actually refills his health. So if you see the gate... Well... Oh, there it is, right there. I must have destroyed the gate first before he went all the way through it. Whoa, what was that? I've never seen that before. Dude, what is going on? It's like this Let's Play is like a freaking bad omen, man. I'm experiencing a whole lot of patterns I've never experienced before playing this game. Like him going from like the sides and coming out, just, I've never seen that before. Which is both cool and frustrating at the same time, because, you know, when I do these Let's Plays, I want to be able to complete these games for you guys, and at least have the gameplay look pretty decent, but when I experience new patterns I've never dealt with before, the gameplay doesn't look pretty decent. It looks pretty bad, actually. So you can really see how much damage the strong attack does versus the other attacks. It does considerably more damage. Alright, so everything should be up to level 3. Okay, cool. Now, we get a lot of power-ups from this section, too, so try to kill everything you can here. That's one power up. Alright, this should be the boss fight. Alright, so I just used my super meter. Got some health back. And, damn, just lost that health. Just like with most bosses in the game, your goal is to pretty much just watch the patterns and move in and out from side to side using your boost. Remember, you can either boost forward or slow down by pressing B. B slows down, X moves you forward, assuming you can move forward. You can only move forward if you see blue arrows at the top. Use my super again. Whoa, what happened there? That's weird. Okay, so it looks like to avoid that you have to boost. So the first two times I got hit by it, but then I boosted and I was good. Got some more health back. You'll notice I'm quickly changing between dragon forms. So what I'll do is, for instance, I'll sit in the heavy dragon form, switch, and then boost, because you can't boost when you're in the heavy dragon form. So that's the best way to try to maximize the damage that you're doing. And this dude's almost dead. He's officially dead. We probably got another D rating. Oh, I got an A rating? Really? Wow. I wasn't expecting an A rating on that because I just took so many hits. One of the things that's kind of interesting in this game is when you beat a level, they don't give you all of your health back. Alright, so this is a good section because there's lots of power-ups here. You want to destroy as many of these things as you can. Did we get all of them? We might have missed one. But still, we got like 4 or 5, maybe 6 power-ups there. Remember, if you want to shoot down a bunch of small projectiles, just switch over to your small wing, or I think it's called the glide wing, technically. And that'll allow you to just lock on to whatever projectiles are coming towards you. Much like the, other Panzer Dragoon games, you don't have to, use the glide wing to take out projectiles. You can always just shoot them manually. But that's riskier. So if you see a lot of projectiles coming your way, it's usually better to just switch over to your glide wing, let that take care of things. Parts of these levels remind me of like Afterburner from back in the day when you were just constantly on the move and you were literally just moving around in circles trying to dodge projectiles coming your way, and you were just hoping that you don't get hit, basically. Again, I always prefer to just use my my glide wing when I need to use my super meter, because I want to keep my health up. Because you can die very quickly in this game. You might get a little cocky, but then out of nowhere you'll get disoriented and you'll just start taking hit after hit after hit. And then before you know it, you got to play the whole boss over again. Usually the levels themselves aren't too bad. But if you get to a boss without enough health, bosses in this game, they're like endurance rounds. So So again, used another super bar, which means I got a little bit of health back. You always want to switch back right away to either your medium or strong attacks, because your glide wing is pretty much useless in terms of attacking normal enemies. There's a couple of enemies in the game that are like super popcorn enemies where they'll take one hit with your glide wing, but for the most part, enemies take a ton of hits if you're using your glide wing. So one of the things I love about this game is how, like, you basically have weak, medium, and strong attacks, and they're all balanced out accordingly. So some are better for certain situations than others. You're constantly switching to get the most out of your play. Not a lot of games get that balance right, and in Panzer Dragoon Orta, it's actually a very simple balance when you look at it. When you look at the amount of damage that depletes from a boss's health bar. That comment basically made no sense. When you look at a boss's health bar and you see how much damage they take, when you switch through your weapons, you realize it's pretty You know, it's like from your medium attack to your strong, it's not a massive difference, but if you're like doing it just right, it makes a big difference. So it's not the kind of difference in balance that is just kind of broken and you only have to use the heavy attack for the entire game. Like, this game doesn't really work like that, you know? Like, when I'm in a situation like this, little projectiles are probably going to start coming up, where they would have. I had destroyed all the turrets already. And then I would have switched to my glide wing to take out the projectiles. And then I'd probably go back to my medium attack power to use more lasers at once. And it's just, it's good balance. And few games manage to get that balance just right, and this game definitely nails it. This is one of those sections that's kind of hard to see what's going on. Like, these doors are shutting, but it's really hard to see, like, where they're shutting from. I always get hit there. For one, I always forget about it. And then two, I always get hit by it, even once I realize what's going on. Alright, so this boss has a couple of weak spots. He's got these arms. You want to try to take these arms out first. And again, with pretty much any other boss in the game, you can rotate around him, so you can get behind him. Oops! Ah, I totally forgot about that form. Or pattern, sorry. He basically shoots these missiles up top. I don't even know why I forgot about that. Alright, so we need to move around. You need to watch out for what these guys say sometimes. Some text will appear at the top left part of the screen, kind of indicating what the next pattern is going to be. And when you see missiles shoot up overhead on this boss, you need to look up and shoot them down ASAP, otherwise you're going to get hit and take damage. Oh, I did it again, man, at the exact same spot. It would probably help a little bit if I had my headphone volume turned up more, but because if you hear the sound cues and you know it's coming up. Like, look at how slow his health meter is depleting. You know, these boss fights, they're endurance rounds. You've got to be able to stay afloat, keep on point, and just endure overall. So sometimes what I do is I use my main lasers, then I'll switch to the heavy dragon, then I'll switch back to my main lasers. And that seems like it works. Not sure how well it actually works, but it seems like it works anyway. Alright, phase 2. And again, we're skipping through all the cutscenes if we can. Okay, so this is tough. You really want to use your glide wing here to avoid these. This is very similar to a pattern in the very first Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. This is basically a circular type of pattern, just kind of move around counterclockwise or clockwise, whichever way you prefer. I think both ways work. Alright, this part's a little tricky. You basically have to boost forward, and then when you're all the way up, you've got to boost backward. So I think you have to hold in, like, say, left. Hold left and press B. Nope, because it didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work. That's, confuses the hell out of me. Damn game. So what I'm going to do here is actually be cheap, and, use that. Super meter makes you invincible, remember. And that didn't work again because I pressed the wrong button. When both arrows are blue on your display in the top right, you need to press X to move. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Man, I keep getting hit by this stuff. I am struggling, guys. I still have no idea how that works. I just messed up again. Alright, we're gonna refill this, use my super, get some health back. Even though we probably don't need it right now, I'm gonna play it safe. No, why did you go that way? Makes no sense. Yeah, the forward and backwards movement when you're in a circle like this, and you have to move in a very specific direction, makes absolutely no sense to me. I still haven't figured it out. So we're on episode 9, second to last episode, and if I recall correctly, this is a relatively short episode. We have to fight these dragons again, or dragon mares again, just like in the beginning of the game. Not really in the beginning, but 5 stages ago. Except we have to fight a whole lot more at once now. But if I recall correctly, they do go down a little bit faster. Now these are not the ones that are the boss. Alright, this is probably the boss. And just like before, we basically want to just target a single one if we can. It's going to be really hard to keep track of them, but especially when there's like 8 of these guys. I'm just going to tank the damage if I can. That's one. It's another one. When they make that shrill cry, that means that you've pretty much killed them. So when you hear that noise, you know you're good, and one is no longer going to be in the fight. It's kind of hard to keep track of which one has gone down because there's so many. So you can just use that sound indication that you've succeeded. So I'm not worried about tanking a few hits here and there because, you know, I'm building up my super meter. And the ones that are trailing black behind them, they're about to die. There it is. You heard the noise. It's another one. Alright, we're almost there. I guess using the same boss fight from earlier kind of pads out the game a little bit, but, you know, doubling the amount that you have to fight, you know, it's definitely makes it harder. Alright, cross your fingers for me that we can do this on our first try. This is a fairly challenging final boss with 3 separate forms. So I'm probably going to be a little bit quieter just in hopes that I can beat this guy on my first try. The other night when I streamed this, it took me like 3 tries and it was so frustrating. Alright, form number 2. Alright, third form. This is arguably the toughest form just because this guy is just bouncing all over the freaking place. Wow, you gotta be kidding me, man. Those pink lasers, you've got to be holding down your lock-on button and in just the right position. Otherwise, you miss those pink lasers and they shoot you. You have to basically shoot the lasers down. And they pretty much do the most damage out of any attack in the game. And you've got to deal with it on the second form, but it's easier to deal with on the second form because you can't accidentally lock on to, like, his small tail behind him or something like that. It's really frustrating, actually, when you get there and you end up dying because of it. Ugh. I get to watch it all over again. It's right here. These are the pink lasers again. Same pattern, basically. It's just he's much larger. You can use your bomb. Not really necessary on this form unless you know you're gonna get hit. Feels like my button's starting to mess up. It's weird. I've been playing way too much Xbox these last 3 or 4 days. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I probably should have saved that super, though. I panicked because I got hit by accident, and then I decided to use it to refill some health. But in reality, I'm gonna need it for this part. Yeah, we're pretty much done. I really don't want to do this again. Alright guys, 3rd time's the charm. If this doesn't work, we are not beating this game. It really doesn't matter at this point. I mean, you guys haven't seen any of the story in this Let's Play. And, so I mean, you've seen all the game has to offer except for the ending and all the story sequences, so there's almost really no point in me playing this again. Again, that last form is just such a pain. And, I mean, I guess it's got a right to be, relatively tricky. Because the rest of the game is, once you get the hang of it, it's not that hard. So this is... Whoa! Seriously, dude? I must have boosted too far. See, this is what happens when you stop paying attention, is you get out of whack with your patterns. And before you know it, you're slamming in the stuff and getting hit by lasers and whatever that you normally wouldn't be getting hit by. So right here we have to boost, otherwise we get hit by these lasers. And same thing again. I guess what I'll do is I'll try to explain what happens on the boss, since we're probably not going to beat it. He's got this tail attack. If you hold left, you can dodge the first one, then you want to dodge back and forth. You can try your heavy form, but again, your mobility in your heavy form is very minimal, so I have a tendency of getting hit by the tail if I go with the heavy form on this part. So same laser part, just try to lock onto him, and we're gonna go ahead and just use our bomb attack. We don't really need to, but we should have it built back up by the time we get to the third form. Those lasers on the side, you can kind of see where they're going, like, the second they're coming out, so if you keep a close eye, you should be able to figure out where to go and where to move your dragon. Alright, so I'm not going to use my special attack this time. I'm going to save it. Alright, third form. Really, it would be nice if that was just it. Just two forms. I am not understanding how I'm still getting hit, man. It's frustrating as all hell. And none of your other weapons really work against this form. Oh my god! You gotta be kidding me, man. Not even on stream did it take me 4 tries. Alright, well that's pretty terrible, guys. We're going to go ahead and end it here. There's no point in having a Let's Play turn into a 3-hour playthrough just because I try to play the final boss 20 times. Like, it's that last section is obviously giving me trouble, and it's extremely frustrating. This is the first time I've had so much trouble on that last form in all of my playthroughs over the last couple of days. You know, I've been streaming this game. I put like 5.5 hours on stream. And this is the first time it's given me that much trouble. I mean, I had to do it 3 times the last time I beat the game, but not 4 times. I mean, who knows? It might have been 5 times if I tried it again, which I'm not going to. For that, I apologize, guys. I'm really disappointed that we weren't able to actually beat the game. Normally in these Let's Plays, I get to the point where I can beat the game and then I Let's Play it. Unless I'm doing like really short, hard arcade-style games where I make a disclaimer in the beginning saying, I make no guarantees that I can beat the game. Panzer Dragoon Orta, I expected to beat the game, guaranteed. But as you can see, my performance throughout the course of the game wasn't all that great. I got 3 C's, I got a D, a bunch of B's, and only 1 A. Normally, I think on stream, the last time I played through the whole game, it was just A's and B's across the board, not a single C or D for that matter. So, you know, obviously must not be focused right now or something like that. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sorry, guys. But since I've got you, we'll go ahead and poke around with... well, at least I got a new feature in Pandora's Box. Okay. I'll show you Pandora's Box. I'm not going to really play anything here, because that'll just take up a bunch of extra time. But I'll sort of leave this as like the mystery aspect of the game. If you want to get this game for yourself and try to play through it and unlock a bunch of stuff. So you've got things like the appendix and the encyclopedia, which tell you, you know, terminology and, you know, gives you enemy details and character details and whatever. You've got flight records, which basically, you know, gives you your stats in the game. It basically tells you how long you've played, you know, your unlocks and stuff like that. It even gives you a percentage on how often you used your different dragon forms, which is pretty cool. So Pandora's Box open 45.5%. So there's still a lot of other stuff to unlock, which is pretty cool. There are more stats there as well. I didn't show you that. You've got appendix is actually really important because this is where the original Panzer Dragoon is. You can click that and it basically loads up what I'm gonna guess it was probably the Windows 95 version of the game. It's got smoothed out textures compared to the Saturn version. Although it does run at the same frame rate as the Saturn version, coincidentally. I'm surprised that they didn't up it to like 30 or 60 frames a second or something like that. So it still runs at a sub 20 frame rate, unfortunately, but it's still a great game. It's a classic, and you get it on this game. It plays pretty much just like the Saturn version. Illustrations, which are pretty self-explanatory. Events, these are basically, you can like rewatch cutscenes and stuff like that in FMVs. Same there. I don't remember what that is. Oh yeah, this is actually pretty cool because it also gives you cutscenes from other Panzer Dragoon games, like so Panzer Dragoon, the original Panzer Dragoon opening and ending. I don't know what these are going to be. I don't know if you can, you know, unlock films from like Panzer Dragoon Saga or Panzer Dragoon Zwei, which is part 2. But I'm going to have to see what all the unlocks are some other time, just to see what they are. You've also got sub-scenarios. Oops, wrong one. I went to flight records again, so there's going to be more load time. But since we're here, we'll tap right. And it gives you your easy mode stats. It gives you your normal mode stats. Wow, I even got an S rank on the final boss. And here we go. Like in this Let's Play, I couldn't even beat him. Hard mode, which I haven't even played yet. And sub-scenarios, which haven't played all of them, unfortunately. Alright, so sub-scenarios, you actually have other quests you can play. There's this Imperial section where you play as this like Imperial kid, and it's really weird. I haven't given it much time, but it's not even like the main game. It's totally different. You've got Mission 2, The Fury of Mobo. Mobo is actually the character you met on the boss of the second level, and then you have to fight him, and then there's a whole story section with him, and so you can play as him, this little goofy side mission. It plays a little bit like the main game, but still pretty far off. So it's still neat though. And you've got these other missions: Mission 4, Quick Shooter; Mission 5, Quick Shooter 2. And then I'm going to assume this is Mission 3, Mission 6, or Mission 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I need to unlock Missions 1 and 3. So the Quick Shooter missions are basically just you on your dragon trying to just kill a bunch of enemies in like this small room really fast. And you get ratings based on how well and how fast you do it. And so that's it. The Pandora's Box has a ton of stuff in it. Way more than the old Pandora's Boxes did in Panzer Dragoon 1 and 2. So it's really good stuff. Lots of replay value on this game. Whew. And with that, I think I'm going to wrap things up, guys. Panzer freaking Dragoon double freaking Orta. God damn that last boss, man. That ticks me off. It's all good, though. It's all good. So again, if you guys missed part 1, which I highly doubt if you're at this point in the video, feel free to check that out. For those of you guys that watched both parts, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. This was actually an unexpected, 2-part Let's Play. Normally I don't do multi-part Let's Plays, because they just take so long. But I was playing this game on stream, and I figured, hey, you know what? I might as well do it now, while it's still fresh in my mind. And yeah, we did most of it somewhat decently, some of it not so decently, but again, it's all good. So this is the intro of the game, and pretty good CG for the time, actually. Pretty much everything about this game was pretty good for the time. 2003, Halo was still the hot stuff, and games like that, and so Panzer Dragoon Orta was definitely a really nice looking game. 60 frames a second at all times, and yeah, good stuff. So, alright guys, I'm out. Thanks again for watching. If you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe for more Let's Plays and other video game goodness. And everybody else that's already subbed, thanks as always. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys soon. Until then, take it easy.